eyes are clouded in a foggy daze. The sky is clouded, life shrouded grays. But the brightness is never too hard to find, because vividness and clarity starts in the mind. If you keep your head steady, don't look away. Like the king of the jungle when he's stalking his prey, you can see all the detail your mind omits, that your eyes gloss over when you focus on it. You assume that you know what you're looking at, how the world is laid out so neat and flat. But when you look too hard, you fail to see your mind's natural spontaneity. If you can accept that you aren't in control, release the ego, just let it go. You see the truth, the bright world return, and forget the grays you were forced to learn. Is water really wet? Is the sky truly blue? Do human beings and horses wear the same shoes? If the world serves you an aphorism, certain reverse it and see if it still holds true. Switch up and down, forget the laws of gravity and do the rules of physics. To be contrary, but if that's too much plaything for your imagination, question if education really grows creativity. Go asking what happens if you step out of line. Is a 9 to 5 like the only way to survive? If the hero takes a scary path extraordinary, why do they tell the story where he turns out fine? There are many types of people, from the strict to the lenient. You can see a different point of view if you mean it, no matter what you do. When presented with a proof, don't believe that it's true just because it's convenient. An anxious man waits, unrelenting, unabated, for his overwhelming fate to say he finally made it. While the cold-hearted fiend merely chuckles with glee, prepared to be redeemed by his hellish decree, that the unsuspecting man will be broken and branded, lose his command, tortured and empty-handed, defeated by evilness, heart black as pitch, an underworld fix and a 6-year itch. When the smoke gets clearer and he looks in the mirror like the doomed to die seer, he will face his fear that his greed is eclipsed, the truth that he missed, another worldly shift into hell's hot pits. And he'll finally see the only way to come clean is to lure another being and turn him to a fiend. So the cycle persists, though the heart resists. We should all be pissed, but it's hilarious. Beatrice sits in the garden of God. In her own little world she seems pretty odd, and because she insists that her temperance is plain, it's obvious to all of us she's clearly insane. She basks in the radiance of the divine. She observes every insect, bird, flower, and vine, expanding her ego, understanding of reality. She's out of her mind, of course, obviously. So when a young teacher invades her church and tears holy flowers out of the dirt and insisted that plants are so beautiful, such actions must be totally normal. So why did young Beatrice begin to cry, roll around in the ground and scream at the sky, insisting the teacher had done something bad? The only explanation is she must be mad. Have you ever met someone your parents called dumb and they say his education just wasn't enough? Like school is a feast, and the more that you eat or the more the teachers treat you, then the smarter you'll be. But that ain't the whole tale, cause the ones who will fail never truly made it through the safe, fun, guardrail. For every good teacher who can help kids thrive, there's a creep who wants to keep them, not to starve them alive.
Sit up straight.
Man, I can't relate, cause the shape of my spine is all curvy and fine.
Speak out loud.
Can't you see the crowd? I'm surely not the smartest or the greatest artist.
Problem solved.
Dude, let's resolve how to make a decent living, how to love and be forgiven.
Make the grade.
Well, I feel betrayed. You spent all this time berating me instead of educating me. You're telling me my problems won't just go away, and to be a better person, I must start today. That self-improvement takes a lot of effort for sure, and all adults aren't inherently superior. That you only rarely care if I become a winner, drive a Lambo, wear a watch, and take the president to dinner. But if you've already done this and you're who you want to be, then why do we refuse to teach the process to me? If the books your teachers make you read are as great as your teachers say, why do they ignore the emotions you feel and tell you to dissect them at an overwhelming pace? Don't you know that explaining the joke ruins it? How am I meant to understand the meaning of the work when it's torn up and soggy from all the time I spent tuning it? Doesn't matter that I felt emotions first. I cared more about Atticus Finch than Scout's costume. No matter how he helped the new Snape was still a creep. Didn't need to write an essay about Hamlet, some uncle in the end, to where the red fern grows made me weep. But you can't grade a feeling of verified opinions. The teachers like easy to memorize analysis, so we forget the reason we're investing in the mentor books that we love into glorified lists. I'm a mind intellect crystallize. I insist my position, authority on high, the logical kind. Laws will bind so correctly, your flaws get back in the line. Like it or not, I'm the maestro of thoughts. Surrender or you'll never get a good job. Grades are the boss, the rest can be tossed. Unless you want to rot in a cardboard box. Don't need inspiration, social validation. I reject your emotional interpretation, cause this operation's my lone obligation. Perfection's the soul crest of civilization. Ignore the conceptual, vulgar, and sexual. Devote yourself ever to logic perpetual. Love's ineffectual, death is eventual. But now you can say that you were intellectual. The wise master needs not teach the disciple. The student is the one who has to grow. And when the pupil reaches their grand arrival, it is only their efforts they will have to show. An employer of men has a soul that must be humble and never believe his place is above them, lest the trust in their position crumble and the bond between the two become condemned. The path of heaven benefits and does not harm. The way of a sage is utterly magnanimous. Though he grants you fire, he keeps himself warm. His riches, in fact, come from his empty-handedness. Spark is in all of us, the artistic calling. Creation is expression of the self we seek. If we impose our views on others, it will lead to them falling like a man without a soul, unable to speak. The heart of the artist is what we seek. The sign inscribed on the cloth of your mind. If you obliterate the boredom of your normalcy, a sea of creativity is what you'll find. Seek the action that sparks your passion, a new interpretation you can't turn away. Vow to forgive yourself when you are bad at it, then do a little bit of effort every day. Scrutinize the meaning of the art you admire. Always take inspiration from the work of the greats. Stay authentic to your preferences, you'll find your style in a niche that will grow into your own fan base. Doesn't matter if you're dumb or told you will fail. The world's such a bigger place than that, you see. No matter who you are, there's a way for you to speak in a voice that can benefit humanity. The all-consuming masses are always wanting, constantly hunting new quality content. For every name and face they champion, thousands of artists send up a band. It's the ease of imitation is beguiling. They want validation in an easy life. But an easy life is utterly vapid. Atrophy yourself and your fall will be rapid. The secret truth is the world is divided. The brave and the cowards on opposite sides. If you commit yourself to the art, your authenticity will shine from your heart. Inscribe your life into your medium. Expose the world to your experience. Ignore the urge to be good or right, and guide the future with an imitable light. For every action, there's an opposite reaction. True for Newton, but not for an artist. Because we spend so many hours in practice, performing for the void can be the hardest. For every finished work that resonates, there's a dozen that have fallen flat. Check the tracks on any cassette tape. The list itself will tell you that. Is it all just a futile exercise? Writing so much that all gets pitched? Is there more meaning to an artist's life than stumbling onto a single hit? An artist is the one who dedicates your soul into every single track. For we don't know which one will be great and pay that time invested back. Wake in the day, hitting on stage, every long hour, you're gathering power. Slowly it grows, feeling the flow, catching the high, raring to go, hoping the audience vibes with your rap, taming the beast to snag that call back, praying they don't dismiss you on sight when the act falls flat and the scene ain't right. Your eyes, ears, and soul escape from the stage. They'll never ask you to come back to play, but when everything's cracking and fly, the high can last for days. Fulfilling your purpose is worth it, for this alone you were made. Stay humble, stay afraid, don't give in to big-headedness, so you never reach the peak again, a modern-day Sisyphus. Have you ever made it look like you're thinking real hard so the people watching over you will get off your case? But whatever the problem you're pretending to regard, the answer has nothing to do with your face. Have you ever acted dumb or unskilled at something to get a little pity when you surely fail? But the assembly can see through your pandering and they won't forgive that you've chosen to bail. Have you ever skipped ahead so when it's your turn to read you'll perform your part perfectly and without flaw? But you're missing the messages the others would teach. You might as well not even be reading it all. You can wear baggy clothes, sit on the end of rows, do everything you can to disappear. But until you recognize that you're hiding from their eyes, you'll never escape the grip of your fear. subtle expression, unconscious reflection, weight shifts, hair flips, acceptance, rejection, innocuous remarks, unexpected sparks, submission, dominion, interpersonal arcs, emotional hoax, unconscious provoke, laughter, disaster, untenable jokes, soul-piercing gaze, insulting praise, staring, uncaring, the vision ablaze. There's always intention in every action, the tiny transactions that govern our lives. If you understand as much as a fraction, you'll soon comprehend our intrinsic drives. If you believe every action masks malice and don't think that you can make human connection, begin to see all the ways we play status and find those who choose to play for affection. Give me a hit, I'll take all of it. I can deal with your shit, but don't mess with my friends. Need things to say, I could hear it all day. Just send it my way and don't mess with my friends. Dishonest discourse, facts without a source. Get off your high horse and don't mess with my friends. Spreading your lies behind your disguise. Look me in the eyes and don't mess with my friends. Passive aggression, man, here's a suggestion. Grow up, learn your lesson, don't mess with my friends. Stirring up drama, uncovering trauma. Go cry to your mama and don't mess with my friends. Won't put up a fight, I'm the peaceful type. I absorb your attack without striking back, and I'll show my strength with the ones who will rage on my behalf. Then sit back and laugh, and then you will have to deal with my friends. When you're ready to die, look them in the eye. Don't you dare shudder or shake. Hold tightly on to the human bonds you've chosen in your life to make. Show them no fear, then you'll appear to be the one destined to pass. In your last moment, finally show your adversary how the truth you have lived will surpass. Your death can serve us with some precise purpose you've given all of yourself to. Orate so ruthless that the truth has no choice except to shine through. When you toil and strive not just to survive, but to live full of purpose and passion, then the day of your death is the ultimate step, leading others to follow your actions. We believe our condition is submission, supernaturally handed, an impossible mission to transmute the crowds and shout loud. A religious incision of music endowed, yet we're met with resistance and distance. Social emotions forged human conditions, challenge the fallacies when our art stands apart, unrelenting, preventing us from getting our start. We wanted the conflict avoided, destroyed it. Anything's better than being branded annoyance. Ourselves held us down, lost in the sound, beating the meaning out from what we found. Nothing's done, everything's lost its ring. Words unheard, unable to sing. Don't fall from the scene, grab that string, take wing, hold your heart high, know that you are a king. How are the codes of the world expressed, handed down on high from Jehovah, delivered through movements of stars discreet, graphed upon each creature's palms to read? Do we see the decrees within our dreams? Read into the patterns of random tea leaves, devote our whole selves to a diet of grind set, deduce the plain truth from a laboratory rap. Perhaps there's no factualness, nihilistic bliss, but I seem to believe, at least in this, that if you wish to begin to understand, it starts by holding your own mind in your hands. Increase your awareness, elevate mental health, as Socrates dictated, know thyself. When you dug to the bottom, it'll all become clear, the secrets you've always needed to hear. The doctrine of nonviolence starts with kindness, for the world is grim and cold and cruel. Those who advise us put our troubles behind us, motivate the strength of intrinsic renewal. And when you are injured, practice forgiveness. We are all sinners, but we can all change. Act as an agent of goodness and riches, don't relinquish the people whose evil remains. If you find righteousness in life, show gratitude, fill up your soul with the power of thanks. Demonstrate the greatest of honorable attitudes, even if all the other ships have sank. Cause the fact is, no one imagines themselves bad. To lower your head can extricate it. To defeat a weakling would just be sad. By denying the violence, you shame it. The shield revealed Achilles' heel and he fell. Does the heart often snap from a small crack as well? The gap we guard carefully dares us to ask, do we truly believe we are up to the task of taking up arms against slings and arrows, which threaten to send pain down to the marrow of the secrets we've locked up away from the world? One break in our shield and our thoughts will unfurl. Can we ever stop hiding our thoughts? Perhaps no. The pain of exclusion comes deep from below, but if we are ever to truly express it, the very first step is unfettered confession. Expose all our efforts to hide it away. Accept that we cannot just change in one day. And if the pain still carries down to our roots, do what Achilles ought have: wear a boot. Expert preferences, earl of opinions. To rap uninhibited is to lay bare the soul. If you seek to master the rhyme, flow, and rhythm, first seek to capture the self in full. Each of us constructs our own labyrinth to keep the monsters of our heart at bay. To chisel away at each pillar and plinth is to grow towards knowing yourself one day. Behind every wall is another perspective, an alien mind we have locked within stone. It's no use determining a viewpoint's correctness, for every part of us can exist alone. The purpose of life is discovering purpose. The path to find purpose begins with the heart. When you fully accept yourself beneath the surface, then your true artistic journey can start. How are the codes of the world expressed? Handed down on high from Jehovah, delivered through movements of stars discreet. Graphed upon each creature's palms to read. Do we see the decrees within our dreams? Read into the patterns of random tea leaves. Devote our whole selves to a diet of grind set. Deduce the plain truth from a laboratory rap. Perhaps there's no factualness, nihilistic bliss, but I seem to believe, at least in this, that if you wish to begin to understand, it starts by holding your own mind in your hands. Increase your awareness, elevate. The gift of ignorance is authenticity, for any fool can tell you when it rains. He does not need meteorology to see the delusion is window pane. The gift of ignorance is honesty, listen closely to the untrained. Even a child, when hearing a story, knows the logical from the inane. The gift of ignorance is impartiality if both of the sides look the same. When you're not in the middle of controversy, you can understand everyone's pain. The gift of ignorance is sincerity, forget all the schemes in your brain. Speak only with candor and clarity, to empathize, not entertain. Plays a sacred act, tap into your mind, see what you find. When you start the feedback, play the beat backwards, speed it up, slow down, turn it upside down, find the absurd, play with your words freely. Imagine themselves written by hand, unbidden, untempered, unseemly. Play out your real ideas that you find at random, take a chance at it till you really free us. The brain seeks emotion, effortless devotion, the ape within trying to conserve locomotion, but activating scenarios, crank your old stereos, danger creates the tempos, the carrot flows. The way to uncover one thing from another, a place that's strange and still undiscovered. Break the spiral of downward denial till your creativity and rap both go viral. Zooming on the relevance found in the human element in art, there is not that is truly absurd. Metaphors realistically have natural equivalencies to experiences drawn from the concrete world. Embrace new burdens, hang blue curtains, escape the idea that you must be opaque. Break through the ceiling, just feel your damn feelings connected to the world around you before your heart breaks. Blinded by the theory, feel superior clearly. There's nothing so clever about being alone. Drowned on the ocean of extant emotion, perhaps it will mean more than intellect shown. Stretch out your hands and encompass the planet. The work can be made plain through empathy. When artists refuse to explain their ruse, having a heart is the entrance fee. Once you verify with your O2 eyes how the world is stacked up in layers of status, the heavy pedigree proves you can never be free of the insight into human madness. Unorderly jumbles of pauses and mumbles reveal crystal clear how they fall into place. When every Greek chorus finds boredom abhorrent, the actors forsake the principle of their play. Ingenious reversal in nonsensical verses creates the traversal of prominence clear. When servants are kings and lords made unclean, the work carries meaning profound and sincere. The wisest and smartest of outlauded artists can see deeply past our thin interpretation and but in a moment capture the whole of the feelings we truly wish communicated. Are you acting evasive or perhaps uncreative? Do you try to hide before prying eyes? Are you terribly scared of the label hysterical, your conduct admonished by incisive replies? But what if you covet the mind of another, a guise you could hide behind, critics defied? Imagine a you that could effortlessly do exactly the actions you wouldn't have tried. Creative abstraction it renounces an action. It's actually explained as a trait of the brain. If you can envision a creative individual, you have the potential to emulate them the same. No matter how hard we raise up our guard in pretending to be who we aren't. The truth is the talent was always in balance. We act and create from the very same heart. Deep within the primitive sleeping soul, the undeniable connection to the world remains, though we attempt to remove it whole, to eliminate the fantastic nature of our brains. The great masses loom over us unbending, daring individuals to conquer their heights when all they really need is a bit of grave tending. It's far too soon for them to turn out the lights. But society violently silences dissidents. Adults atrophied from honest creativity, damaged, unmanaged, unimaginative, and callous. Lost the connection with who they want to be. There are more stars in the sky than the sun, but in the day it is all we can see. We must turn our back on the giant ones to express our true individuality. Let's interrogate the narrative of artist self-expression. Isn't that a little bit too damning? An artist can be ridiculed for their own confession, but is art always so tied to planning? Can we not observe that more often than not, the words flow from our lips unbidden? Do these unconscious statements force us to stop the parts of our identity that are forbidden? When suddenly and brutally we come upon a thought and people start to look critically at our art, we begin to recognize it as potentially good or bad and are forced to perform a societal part. If the artists are instead merely mediums for ideas much greater than they, we would withhold our judgmental tedium and hear what the human soul has to say. The watcher at the gates of the mind examines your ideas, every thought and fantasy, ensuring that nothing is allowed to pass that might be too hasty or considered nasty. Be ashamed it proclaims of the madness in you, the flow of uncontrollable pornographic sin. The ideas that bubble underneath the surface are trifling matters, nothing significant. But the perfect rap is not a solvable equation that can be analyzed until the answer is clear. The most correct and logical choice in a situation makes for colors music that nobody wants to hear. The artist is a conduit for ideas that flow through. When the mind is set loose to do what it has to do, the imagination opens up, thoughts flow freely. Spontaneity is effortless as perceiving. Hello? Blink and you'll miss it. Face it and kiss it. An ordinary, fairly mundane brain waves in space. Sick of disorder. Mind unavoided. Give in to simplicity in slippery ways. Old and decrepit. Brandish your weapon so your consciousness the wants this can understand. Hold out your hand. Make it lie flat and envision what's in it effectively and effortlessly. The veracity is that there's nothing but this. Everything empty except for your expectations. The constant creations that you fabricated if only you were able to change it. Or make an attempt to strangle it. It would surely and hurriedly go away.
Understandably, in order to teach, one must be better able to follow the rules. Individually, practice what we preach, or our multiple choice tests will show you're a fool. Surely we found the process to make our people into the next rising star. Our methods are sound, our intellect great. Whilst we make plans just to make it this far. Reach up what you see on stages and corners. Those artists are lacking it through the air with. There are some seeds like God in this sword, and the world is a lesser place because of it. And yes, they make money to get lots of fame. To not see why you have to be blind. They shoot through the funny, the trendy, the lame. We'd rather be right than ever dirty your minds.
If Every day I expend my energy, wielding the shield I call sanity, hoping it deflects those suspicious looks and praying it safeguards my humanity. Cause I'm no homeless man, ranting in air, no starving artist born through critics with a stare, no psycho killer who believes himself God, no hippie dancing naked, freely without care. And even if I think about those things a lot, even if that freedom is something I want to escape, truly the bonds and chains that hold me to the standard that I've been taught. I can't make the change to reject the group for the soul of my work, to become rebuke, to refute everything that I've ever known, and give in to the thoughts that I know on my own.
Oh my god, did you hear about that rapper Isaac Anzu? I listened to his stuff, he is so cringe.
Cringe is the whip that keeps us in line, defining our ability to operate truly. If you try to say so, you will fall behind. The artist meets the ordinary with refusal. Reject the selection of sane thoughts provided by a public who refuse to accept any less when the edge of the centralized mind has subsided. Scrutinize detritus that's been left. It's the story of the glory of the human condition. Release the mad imagination held inside. It's proof of your existence beyond outer superstition, the bona fide self that you truly can't hide. In society, the news we stay safe and acceptable. Shrink away from the life you lead on the fringe. Don't think about the dangerous, strange, or questionable, or the voices of the masses might label you cringe. Monitor the worth of the thoughts in your mind. Calculate the depths to which you wish to sink. Never second guess the decision to be kind when you're staring over that unrelenting brink. The river gives us undelivered inhibitions, the flow of things older than our culture's attitude. Can you pacify the hate that you're given when the source of all the torment is a voice within you? We are keen to suppress the obscene in our lives, to convert undeserving man into a fiction. If we keep on rejecting everything we find, we blind ourselves to harm we can't get a fix on. Allow your mind to shout without doubt or judgment. Prudence and acceptance in impeccable balance. Discover the validity of what self-love meant before you break your back, your mind, your heart, your talent. The very first thing that comes to your mind is the inspiration you hoping to find. Then look for answers full of convoluted bliss. Lay down the verse that seems obvious. Start by writing out a single line. Don't even think about what you'll use for the rhyme. Think of a word that pops in your head and connect the rest to what you just said. If you try to be strange or act bizarre, stand from the crowd like a movie star. You'll end up at the same boring weirdness that people have accepted as naturally peerless. But inspiration is right in front of your face. It doesn't need a special time and a place. Write down the words as they fall from the shelf, and you'll find you become more and more like yourself. Recite the fate of the first word in line. That short-term memory erased from your mind, displaced by a safe replacement defaced. Recognize what this indicates your fate. The flow of your mind interrupts itself. The lies rely on you, forgetting the wealth of singular ideas sprung from your heart. You shackled yourself before you can even start. Without the doubt within you can finally be whole. Convey rap straight from the depths of your soul. If you live in delusion, you despair your skill. Every day you aggregate an emotional bill. If the world desires sweet, somebody's gotta lay him. If the song demands chords, the dude's gotta play him. If you think of the words, you're gonna have to say him. But your voice chokes, you broke, you done, kid, damn. If you keep speaking no, you'll keep being safe. The course you are steering will never go astray. You won't have to face humiliation or shame, and every day will seem exactly the same. If you keep speaking yes, you'll find your adventure, excitement, and danger, and romance for sure. You'll always have a destination towards which to roam, but you won't get the feeling of finding a home. Consider the outcomes when faced with this fact. Do we head in a direction and never look back? Confine ourselves ever to roads or to home, doomed to be always and never alone. Yes and no are masks we can change with ease. The true task is extracting the empathy. When we find those we love and the people we miss, we'll know in that moment to surely say yes. Hold in your hand the soul of a man. Each move you make shifts the balance of power. The simplest nudge, the slightest of stroke can make it deface his precarious tower. Blanket yourself in impregnable shells to protect the architecture of your fragile heart. When the presence of anyone begins to set up some wicked self-loathing before you can start. But how can you hope to scale up the slope if you're required to make the journey alone? If you give control, let go of the whole, you're gonna go farther than you would on your own. Responsibility must be given firstly to the ones best suited to handle the weather. The rest must accept the choice was the best, for the masses go further together. The stories that we long to see in art are the ones we could never really ever take part in, cause we cautiously prevent negativity, so we seek entertainment in the art we see. If you had a bad day, just rap about it. No time to play, go rap about it. Last week didn't slay, try rapping about it. Sky turned to gray, stand up and shout it. Our lives are normal, boring, nothing. It's something we accept begrudging. With fire in our heart we seek fantasy and a story to inspire both you and me. So if aliens invade, just rap about it. Zombies from the grave, go rap about it. Gods misbehave, try rapping about it. The dragon last slain, go ahead and shout it.
Reproduction is uncovered, say hello to see you tried. Hold your head above the tide, find the line to stay together. Verses that you've held forever, mix and random tears to see. It's spontaneity, trust the rule will still deliver. Ideas that will quiver as they fall into the page. Try to hear some new engage. Once you open up your passion, print the page and take a catch. You must have fluorescent article, rise to see the possible.
The work of the master often goes unseen, and the words of the braggart are hard to ignore. But if we believe every being has a lesson to teach, the meaning of our life becomes something more. With no pain or aggravation, we ignore most folk, giving little thought to people who kindly pass by. Can we really treat the kindness as an awkward joke? Well, the idiots and assholes occupy our minds. Teaching our eyes to see the problems in life can help us to someday make them disappear. But when we only focus on our social strife, each and every moment's full of stress and fear. Don't let yourself be tamed by blame and hate when there are people in your life who want you to succeed. If you can separate the vile from the great, why would you choose to plant the more destructive seed?
Have you ever contemplated the day you will die? Who will eulogize? Who will write up a speech? Who will make a scene as they break down and cry? Who will your existence's impact have reached? Have you ever tried a stunt that you're petrified of? Like surfing, skydiving, or riding horseback? How do you know it won't turn into something you love once you finally feel the thrill of the act? Have you ever built something with your own two hands just to prove you could do it yourself? The avocation of creation can change a human, whether it's a jet plane or a wooden shelf. If you live day to day unaware of the world, the experiences in it will pass you right by. Do something you never would have believed you could, and be proud of yourself on the day that you die.
Action is the recourse of the passionate, fixing your being, the path that you're planning. Undertake the means to make it happen, and everything will fall into place before you know it. Seek the edge of the dangerous friendly. Understand that nothing worthwhile will come easy. Worry too much and your knees will get queasy. Do something now so you can go out and show it. If you're still stiff, afraid of the cliff, focus your eyes wholly on your own awareness. You'll never take a shot if you think it will miss, and you'll stop yourself from trying just in case you might blow it. The truth is trying to move blindly is useless. You need enough data to know if the shoe fits without stepping out while you're totally clueless. You won't know right or wrong, recognize it and grow it. Disrespect yourself. Put those good ideas up on the shelf. Just let your mind wander, filled with inimitable sonder. Opposed to the codes you necessitate, filled to the brink with a vision too late. Don't make yourself bound and chained to the ideas that come with the pain. The responsibility of quality reduces your capacity for innocent jollity. Your mind wishes it could freely generate. When the fire grows dim and the hour grows late, you can slip into superconscious verse. Scratch your back, breaking ribs and the hearse. Undo the damage that's been done to you until your true persona starts to show through. The shepherds who guide us survived in a different world. There's nothing they can see that they do not understand. Should we try to listen when they teach the world before we set them aside to make our own plans? Conforming to the standards set by generations past is a very good way to never find your start. If you want to obtain a power that is sure to last, you're gonna have to dig deep into your heart. Don't be afraid if the things that you sense are selfish or boring or even obscene. We can't be held responsible for the experience that changes into who we are meant to be. And yet those experiences truly define us. We are the thoughts that flow forth from our mind. There's no point in trying to be a man divided. We have to start from the flow that comes from inside. I try to give you silence, I try to find acceptance. I try to recognize the existence that yourself is. I try to let you pick the topic if you want to talk it. I try not to impose cause it's my loss if you don't want it. I try just to observe, I try to stay alert. I try to stop the pressure if I think you lose your nerve. I try not to be cold but also not too bold. But the constant opposition makes it hard to stay controlled. I try not to disapprove of the motives you move. When you're looking for approval, I try to keep it cool. I try not to disagree with the things that you believe, but I see the need to free you from some deep conspiracies. I try to find the balance to responding to your challenge. I try to keep it salient and dismiss Mr. Malice. I try to stop the fallacies. I try not to be sad, because even though you're callous, you try to be a dad. If you want to make it big on the scene, crack the rap machine. The goal can't escape refinement, continuous and excellent refinement. But you know this already, can you keep your mind steady? Will the verse be ready to release to the beast? Cause to reach your dream, you gotta keep them restless. Endless releases, TikToks, mixtapes, EPs. Nothing is sacred, frontin' will make it, running in place. Hitting the top simply exacts the skin off your back. Are you pleased with mediocre, bucking, cracking like the Joker? Are you seriously happy with what life has given you? The fruits of success comes with effort. It's a waste of your potential if you give up and quit. So practice writing lines tighter, get your rhyming mind right. If you fight, you'll get it. Spin it, win it, kid. You'll end up in the limelight. Stick it to the metronome, don't let the beat escape. You feel it in your bones, straight down to your toes. Dancing is the answer to the problems you have. And get out on the floor, show who could use a smashing. Don't try to upset the flow, feel the beat and go. Clap your hands, stamp your feet, scoot the booty down low. It's a universal language, we can speak the same as our neighbors and the haters. Nobody else can claim it. And above all else, know the groove is king. Bow your head in reverence, kiss the diamond ring. Slap the hi-hat, feel the deep beat of the bass. Step on the back until it's tearing off your face. Give up control, her body feels so. Hit the jelly roll up and start to party when the room's full. Full of music, that is the goal. When the smooth groove's dropping, you best not be tardy. We fight, we hate, altercate, but it's too late, like praying mantises, but we ain't got a prayer. There's madness in the air, boiling in the atmosphere. Microaggressions, overspoken confessions, dealing with folks too young to learn their lessons. And after every session, gotta air the laundry. Everyone's responding, retweet, hashtag on stream, feeding on drama, tearing us down, fighting each other, acting like clowns, hoping for a smile from someone else's frown, thinking we could never be the fox and the hound. Lucrative and strength toward those who truly hate, who pass false condemning identities innate. Why do you see one side different from the other? If there was to recover, then we need each other. 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 Why do you see one side different from the other? If there was to recover, then we need each other. Do you desire the artists to be liable for their art, or do you want them to create unrestrained from the heart? Perhaps it can be said, one wrong move and you'll be dead, but just when you're ahead you start to feel the dread. Like if you began rapping about a feeling you got from growing older and starting to fall out of touch. The kids who buy your albums wouldn't like that a lot, even though to you it meant so much. What's the deal? When every statement's scrutinized for real, the things that you want to feel become your Achilles heel. Do you sacrifice your zeal to become heirs of being perfect? Take your whole career in a mockery of service? And they'll tell you that it's worth it. Go ahead and step in line. We all turned out just fine. We rhyme. We got time. Popularity's no crime, but if you forget where yourself is, it was probably better to have decided to be selfish. You say cause I'm a dude, I can't say shit about the world. You say cause I am white, I can't say shit about the world. This relationship, I can't say shit about the world, but I can write about the fucked up shit that I've heard. I see fellow bisexuals erased down to the letter. I see people silenced on the right who else knows better. I see humans doomed to never once express their gender. I see evil in society, I know we can do better. And yes, I benefit from systems so corrupt I grew up in and didn't wish it. The inequality perpetuated, it goes on and on. Cycles, violence, broadcast riots, on and on and on and on. I might be privileged, damn, you might be too. It isn't something anybody had the choice to do, but I can choose to pick the side of righteousness and fight. Grit my teeth, steal my nerve, pick up the pen and write. Let's begin by inspecting the structure, because the content's the nonsense that I find wanting. On each random happenstance controlled by chance, it's unearthly how the slow drip of fun content unnerves me, and I lose focus. Try to communicate, and I'm broken, without reason to believe. It's vital. I spiral into denial. But that's wrong. I have my own voice, I have my own song, I have a good message, I ring my own gong, and it's not inherently better whether it's short or long. All that matters is I fit the pitter patter you used to hear in. If I rehearse my verses in the order you deserve, then I bet you'll listen. Then I know you'll understand.
The weary man sits at his big wooden desk, hoping today the words pour from his chest, knowing his deadline is coming on fast, for any old day could end up as his last. He ponders on numerous topics to scribe, which subject befits this discreet diatribe. How will he show that he's learned and wise to the dancing floor lips and the country club eyes? The hours drag on, he picks up his pen, then shaking his head sets it back down again. There's no single word that is worthy to start the fearsome invention he keeps in his heart. At last he retires with whiskey and coke, calls up his mates for some cards and a smoke, and claims a long evening of writing ensued, even though he himself does not know the truth. He did not fail, he refused. Walk where the wind takes you, into the wild frontier of your mind. Walk where the haters tell you there's nothing left for you to find. Follow your footsteps. The mark of the genius isn't getting your shoes wet. It's finding the answer when life leaves you clueless. Do what you do best. Don't settle for less if your mettle is tested. Stick to the path or suffer the wrath of obstinate vultures just looking for cash. You don't need a model or Sherpa or mentor. You won't be coddling, you won't crash. Throw yourself forward, be your own inventor. Even though the path to the top is so slender, you can't force the door if you're not ready to enter. You can't force the door if you're not ready to enter. I traveled to another world this afternoon. Aliens came to my school and lifted off the roof. They taught me how to fight and shoot meteorites and reminded me not to give anyone proof. After class, I was hanging out where we do recess when an ape from the zoo burst in, beating his chest. I kicked him to Neptune with ET Jiu-Jitsu. Thank goodness no one saw there'd be social unrest. On the way home, a limo pulled up on the curb. A man in a suit offered me his net worth and a Hollywood gig in a big action flick, but I turned it down because the contract was absurd. Then I got home, went up to my bed, drown out the shouting with music instead, finish my homework, take a quick shower, and wish I could be anywhere else. Sitting in the middle row, high school year 2, period 4, trying to get my homework done, half listening to the teacher blow. His voice breaks my lonely vision, and I said I give my opinion. I don't know what the question is, so I tell him what I think he's wishing. As I sit down and feel embarrassed, was my answer good or careless? Did my words hit gentle ears or cause resentment in my peers? I ride inside my wounded mind, wishing I could turn back time, hating who I think I am, at least until it happens again. You tell me it makes it perfect, artificially, commercially deserving of supplanting human elements of service. It's a creativectomy. Creativectomy. Removing the human to avoid paying fees. I don't think you understand. Art is not just a product. It's humanity's last stand. Art is not just a product. It's our final hurrah. The coup d'etat of equations extracts out the soul and wreaks extract on the lifeless pages. I don't think you understand. Art is not just a product. You must feed the genius of the mind that concocts it. Keep that fire fan, squeeze the gland, start the band up. Make plans to expand, help them stand up. It's time to learn the lesson, the expenses of investment. The heart of the artist can best anything that tests it. There's something hovering here only I can see, a special kind of message hidden in the leaves. I break apart the mold to try to find my faith, covering the ground in black and blue. True, I can't see the light of your face for days. The spark inside my heart has at last come loose. Uncouth, abstract nonsense that someone says. The voice inside my head is under screws. I'll lose the beat, repeat the things. I cannot move until the end of time just fades away. And if I dare to think that I could stay, perhaps I'll finally find a somewhere I belong, somewhere I can nail myself into place. However long I need, however long it takes, the sing-song words escape my broken chest and lead my tortured past to solemn rest.
Oh, that I could fly like a bird over roofs, and nothing could keep me away from the truth. Can you ever require that others obey you? Justify righteously to do what you say to. Hopefully, nobody could be so insane to believe that free will is a tool to enslave you. And yet, if we test therapeutic suggestion, there may be a way to discover a truth. One-sided investment, inconsequent lessons, reach deeper pieces of us we never knew. Cause the brain tries to restrain things from itself if it thinks that those thoughts could cause harm or dismay. So we learn more than just a new side of ourselves. We learn what ourselves chose to keep locked away. And the key is obedience, selective subservience, finding the words that reveal past the curtains, combining the lies that we think will still harm us, and tearing apart the mind's self-enforced chains. It's hardly a matter of conscious invention an artist conceives in a flash of creation, but as our intuitive power expands, we're met with the weight of joyous elation. Free from reprimands of the masses' demands, we exhale and revel in our own exaltation. When the rules are dismissed and the critics are pissed, our creative potential comes back from vacation. Bound to the layers of history's text, our paralyzing chains that lash to our chest, curtailing the power we seek to devour. The act of art requires a revolution's pretense. Eliminate the need to be tortured and led by creative dictators who are now all dead. Since every line you spit comes from the heart of it, you're the only one who can say what it meant. I see the message tattooed inside your eyes, the hidden sublimity you try to deny, the sin you wish could be eradicated from your life, yet you keep thinking about it in the darkest part of night. And you never tell your friends, but they may already know. Your family is off limits, guaranteed how it will go. And you cannot tell your girlfriend cause she'd hate it for sure. Didn't help you that the threesome bruised your knees upon the floor, but you think about him, you think about it, you think about them, you think about how they only think of you as friends, you think about how deeply intimate you could get, you think about the scrape of hair on your upper lip, and you think about love, or maybe sharing the load. Think you're alone on a secret dark road. You think the whole world will collapse if you're out, but how come what could make you happy you never think about? We peel away the armor, harming veins of sacred hearts, seeking deeper in our psyche, endless mending woven tightly, ever slowly open layers, crushing underneath a prayer. Do we dare to keep our even share? Our bare emotions deepen, we begin with sexuality. So cautiously, fake obvious inconsistencies, then snap into, reveal the blue, explicit like you wanted to. When you grow weary, clearly, shift the message to the spirits, and at last it's soon, it's finally time to show that you're alone. For every soul exists its own, our messages can't find a home. Inside the hearts of others, fearing life without our brothers. Aggressive, terrifying action. Find the truest satisfaction when you bare your heart to those who may just choose to smash it. If there's just one constant on which you can depend, know the trick to perfect your craft will never end. Even if your mind is rendered and your body's on the mend, you can find a way to make a new path forward with your friends. And that's something irreplaceable, no matter what you spend on technological AI could ever comprehend. The urge to keep pursuing greater heights than what you penned. And if you get knocked down, then you can surely rise again. The passion to pursue the perfect present to send to the people who believe you waste the energy you spend. This is not the end. Life will write another song. It all depends what path you're on. Is it hard or is it easy? Will they tell you that you're wrong or write your name in their graffiti? There's only one way for sure. Put your feet on the floor. Let everybody know that you're moving forward freely. Safe in my routine, unable to explain what my brain contains its blueprint to avoid pain. Stick to the schedule, plus in your revels. Within your routine there's no demon or devil. But it's still routine, every day the same. Even the meals you eat never change. How can you feel like you're actually living when each new day the novelty's nothing?
Rejoice, I say then, for your ignorance. No two days can ever align so perfectly. Surely you see that you're not making sense. Approach your routine slowly and nervously, because chaos consumes the fabric of the universe. There's no circumstances you could ever rehearse. You chase long advances, routine breaking, to bring unnecessary change to your own making.
I've written a verse, you've written a verse, every other brother in Brooklyn rehearses rap verses. What do you mean you're unique or gray? How could you see the world in a different way? Every TikTok teenager is the next rap star. Every SoundCloud producer will surely go far. Can you reject the example of rappers you respect who assert, do hard work until you cash that check? You want to hit the top? That's irresponsible. Living in a shadow so long is impossible. You eat yourself inside out before it's plausible you get anywhere close to your music being audible. So is it just a toss up your loss if you try to be granted satisfaction while you're staring at the sky? Take a different path and I'll inscribe the reason why. No man who grasps at heaven reaches it before he dies. Lead with an easy, boring routine like laundry or lovemaking. Then offer an interruption. Suddenly, a path is created. When people react to the odd or unusual, that's when the heart's attention is immovable. But the next important task, don't let go of your mask. Keep your hands where you can see them. Pour the order from the flask. Careless, unstructured, unanswered meandering breaks down the makeup of the mind scenery, and the enraptured crowd will fling from their mutual dream. Keep the action unwavering. Make the last thing you ever see the faded reincorporation of elements made from the natural flow. Don't break the mistake of the tickets to tell you the place you should go. Complete a retreat on a team you've created to show until every bit has been wrapped and you've kept it just so. This is why you hired me, Isaac. I'm a scholar of psychiatry, Isaac. I'm Dr. Setakos, and I will find out how you're wired, Isaac. Just sit down quietly there, relax in the massive armchair. Let's pick apart each of your verses, and we'll surely clear the air. Objectively, your small success is really no excuse to brag to all your friends that you've mastered any truth. Isaac, you keep on rapping about scary social happenings, but I'm laughing since you ran away from taking personal action. Isaac, frankly, it's clear to me you're scared. You publicly rap about vulnerability, but it's more than putting on airs. Carefully examine these lines here about protesting oligarchy. Doesn't this mean you admit defeat in the face of superiority? Isaac, please, come sensibly. A rap career is a dream. It's lost. Considerably better rappers than you have been beaten, broken, tossed. And if you can't admit the truth, then agree. It's all about you. No amount of virtue signaling will ever get you in that booth. When I stepped into the world, I had no conception of the power I could wield, the creative oppression to affect those who seek out comfort and kindness, bring joy or despair, unmake walls of shyness. But I couldn't initiate in a powerful way. When I embarked, I accepted the role I was to play, to explore and have fun, to improve my own day. And without that, I wouldn't have found the true game of gentle persuasion and manic parlay with the powers that struggle to do as I say, and the truthfulness would have completely eluded me. I would have concluded that I had no direction, the weight of the others, crushing my introspection, abandoned by love I could never have seen. I did never need to reject or tame greed. I had the right seed to discover my dream. Comics, tragedians, idols, actors, active thinkers, held down by the weight of their fleshy human creatures. Each shining star beating dust in their sneakers. Before we can determine the stronger and the weaker, we rolled up to the show, put our soul in the show, tried to grow in the show, make some dough in the show. And everyone who made some had to stay on the run, cause the cruel institutions couldn't help anyone. There's a fight for what's right every night. When you turn on that red light, intermingling forces for riderless horses. The digital equivalent of wearing 7 corsets, but the mask is inhabiting something greater than fame. The visage that we don is ourselves all the same. Identity's playing to live rent-free and prove that a human's inner truth is much more than a groove. I put this veil on my face, erasing my own skin. I'm asked this cruel race that veils the truth from me. An unintended disgrace, an accident of birth that can only be remedied by obscuring it post-haste. I pretend that I can rap, that my breaking isn't crap, that I laid out slick tracks that a brother would say is slap, that my veil won't fall down on my $1,000 lap, that camouflages all these indisputable facts. My mask is cold, it lacks humanity. The rumors unfold, I'm aware of the irony, that the thing I want to become I may have already done, by simply laying pen to paper and expressing my own tongue. Cause who am I to say that my identity is wrong? Do I wear the stupid mask and show my face side of mine? Can I break the chains of hate if I'm not fully aware of how much I put myself into the lines I share? The division of the mind unwinding like a clock, separated into seconds and minutes by the block. And yet each congruent cog knows exactly how to tick to ensure the whole contraption works according to its writ. As the careful coordination of hands wrap around your wrist, we observe a calculation, servitude, and machination. But I think that we believe we just experience one thing, a directed consciousness emerging from a single stream. This patchwork observation cannot be the truth of us, just a messy after plush of contradiction and connection. We only see the crust of our minds from awareness, divide our instincts up, but be closer to the best interpretation of the literal, empty flow, intercongress, and mixed opinions, fixtures that we have to learn to accept. What's the contours of the corners of your face. Do it on all fours. Open doors you've locked away. Distort until you're absolutely sure who you can do, until its mind breaks through and words start coming to you. Sift out the mind without the sad cloud are left behind. Slowly unwind the whole meaning out. Break free from the inhibitions you believed in. Get yourself over to the character you're seeing, the corpse of the monster you're inhabiting. Dressed up like the Scooby-Doo mad villain. Sell your soul to the foe of lines that emerge from the hole that is left when your ego is purged. And it's nothing extreme, no more than a dream. When you finally escape and don your new face and cape, let the plastic cast break forward till you make the best lines of all time when you die on the climber.
Ciao, ciao.
When you check the light in the frigid night, cause you forgot your flashlight and you're brimming with fright, does the sight of the glow console you as you thought it might, or will you fear just return when you close the door? I can't take anymore this great aching sore that cements my reality into something sure. We're deep in its core, it's lost and obscured, a dysfunctional wreck, demanding emotional entertainment, estrangement. Broken, unapproachable without its parasocial, comforting reality. Really, it's locked away inside an old corpse's hide. The key mollified and tossed into the sea. It wishes it could be somewhere real. It misses anything that's real, and if it dares to try to feel, it gets shut rough, and the light goes off. Some may say I've got a handsome face, but it's something I could easily replace. The face I chose to show to the world is just based on the things that I have heard. Make it thin and clean, the magazine's all taunted. Make those eyes baby blue, said Frank Sinatra. Be an Atlas man, said Arnold Schwarzenegger. Keep that beard in shape like the hipster self-affair. So I built myself up. I learned every way. I learned how to smile with teeth on display. I learned how to laugh without sounding creepy. I learned how to relax my face in the right way. Until the muscled head stiffened up into this mask. Until I had at last completed this cruel task with the lines I had carved into my own skin. Made everyone believe that my hands were clean. When I open my face and expose my fate, would you find it too late that it's not me on stage? The musings of atoms, the stories of harmony, Miyazaki and Asimov, William and Arnold, Wakiki Nakamura, Campbell and Tamura, Mercer and Wright, Fujimoto and Oda, the philosophy of white, the control of Luca, Romita, Junior Manifito, Kohun and Bazinga. Do you think I spoke easily? The voice inside of me comes from so many different people I can see. The spirits live inside of the person I try to be and channel out when I get onto the screen. So don't say you know, even I don't know. Don't pretend to know, how could I ever know the many, many voices that create my true soul? Maybe I'll never know, maybe I'll never know. Do we ever stop the climbs up from our minds? The cold grave which we try to push back behind, when the fact of the matter is that we can all find the borders of the sorts of clouds leaving us blind. We're stuck in a fog, deep in the bog of awareness. We could be numb or lose our thumb if we are careless. The mind is a prison of glitter, decorated, festive, but above all else there is this question: do you see beyond the veil of waxy pale imagination, with thoughts flow without route from dread, self-condemnation? Where freedom that you see when you are in communication with the spirits of the fear you had any consideration. Break away with me, you'll see you can be true. The most you'll ever be is free from oppressive view. The world is sweet and kind of case of weakness is apparent when you break the chains inherent. So will you? Yeah, that's nice. Thank you for sharing. How extremely generous you are, how loving, how caring, how deeply you're concerned with how the rest of us are faring, and that little bit of sickness that you feel at fighting on. Great, is he gone? God damn, that was a trip of social anxiety. He's got so much notoriety and effortful sobriety. I think that you can tell that he is putting up a front, and behind that carrying mask he is just a little stunted. He's got no feeling, feel me? It's a joke that he is woke, but I'm sure he thinks we're stoked to be with him when he's broke. But I tell you he's a liar, got a record of denial. It's just empathy for hire, earning everybody's ire. And we'll roast him in the fire once we stop calling him sire. It just takes one small mistake for us to reveal he's fake. It doesn't matter if it's you, it's not bad if it's you. We're not mad that it's you, we're all glad you pulled through until now, cause it's you. And most importantly, don't be sad that it's you. The voices in your heart are held down by chains. The way to make a start is erasing your brain. What comes through when you feel nothing at all, when the skies have turned gray and you're ready to fall? Cause the world doesn't need the shield of personality. They want something real, they want authenticity. They totally need to feel that you're on their side truly. And if you try to steal their hearts, they will leave you permanently. So stop trying to create a you. Don't worry if you don't like you. The ideas inside your mind come out when you are blind, when you choose to look inward and leave the world behind. We suggest you comply, we suggest that you lie, we suggest you don't resist when you're ordered to die, we suggest you go home, we suggest you buy a phone, we suggest you only speak of nasty things when you're alone. We suggest that you follow all of our suggestions closely. Don't act morosely. We watch you remotely. We suggest you give in. We suggest that you win. We suggest that we're correct. We suggest that our suggestions are direct. We suggest you risk your neck. We suggest you buy our suggestion tape. We suggest you load it up each night and hit play. We suggest every day you listen to what we suggest. We suggest it's for the best. We suggest it will take a huge weight off your chest. We suggest it's alright. We suggest that you fight for the things we suggest. For the red and white crest. For the cheaters, liars, guns for hire sires, deniers, the ones we desire. For the ones that we suggest.
Which one do you believe in?
The king, the clown, the killer, the beggar, or do you hope it's the lion or the hound? For no human head was meant to wear the crown.
Which one do you believe in?
The man who answers all your prayers, the man who watches you unaware, the man who destroys without care.
Which one do you believe in?
Does he ask that you kill in his name? Does she promise you fortune and fame? Do they treat rich and poor all the same?
Which one do you believe in?
When you look in the mirror, do you see their face? Do you constantly run, hoping it'll give chase? Is it the pit of your heart that you locked away? They are lying, they are crying, they are throwing a fit. Well, we're dying, they are sighing, they are done with all of it. These play every day, what we wallow in shit. The end of an era coming near from where I sit. Can we believe the word when it's deceiving words? Who wants to obey without reason word? When they ask us for faith in them. But faith in the winners makes you feel like a sinner. And the wages of sin is death, but we all know the wages of life is death. So we keep fighting until our final breath is slipped away. And there's no one left to save on Judgment Day. Can you believe that's all we can afford? The words are nothing before the sword. And this violence on high from the Lord. And this violence on high from the Lord. The energy righteous, reluctant, psychic, trapped in the light. It's almost too bright, a fundamental sight of another person's night shift, breathing freely in the vessel of an existential crisis. Open to the undisclosed truth of reality, free to the unseelie voices surrounding me, a lack of oneness. Trapped done with this body, the mask clutches a soul, yet it swallows my camaraderie. Ego is released and I can cease to be detained. There's nothing left inside of me and I become the unrestrained. When I drift into the sea of unconscious parody, then the life I want to lead leaves this penitentiary. I am one with all, I am spirit unbound, I am ready to fall into the arms of the ground. I am captured in the rapture of the newness I have found. I am drinking on my soul from the God of the sound. He wakes up early because Franklin said so. He chugs protein slurry since he's always on the go. He's a graduate, a laureate, the top of his class. He learned that shit so he could sit in an office on his ass and type in the figures of his boss's salary until it's time to hit the road. The clock says 7:30 and he takes the time to lock the office doors as he leaves because it's all he's ever believed. He wakes up early to catch the train. He chugs a Diet Coke to keep his waistline thin. He's a hard worker, blue collar, classic, down to earth. He never passes letters, but he knows what he's worth. As he toils day in, day out in someone else's business, as his hands begin to shake from all the efforts he's put in, he knows that someday he'll be replaced by a machine. But it's all he's ever believed. I've already decided to fail. Don't stop me. I'm aware of the hounds I will throw myself to. The words are divine. The planet is kind, but we're blind to leave behind what we define. The trance begins to hold. Don't stop me. Apathy overwhelms. I can't help it. I master's rage. My acting age. Many days I rehearsed the play I show on stage. I've been beaten. I am defeated. There's only one cretin left in this Eden. I'm under the spell. My persona quelled. I stare outside with cold wooden eyes. My charms are exhausted. My fortune's lost. It's like a monster broke all logic and now I'm indebted. My life abetted. I feel nothing. My soul rotted. Fallen to dust. I want to be explicit and give you some advice, and it may not sound nice, but I promise it's not shice. I need you to release your personality and vice, seal the energy inside you, break out of the ice, then select a brand new face that you can use to replace the old and moldy visage crawling with regret and lice. Let it scour out your sin as it sinks into your skin. The transformative absorption frees the entity within, and the possibilities are blooming into existence. Can you see the path you might have walked if you could see the difference? The branch on probability, dimensional frivolity. The world's a perfect verse is each a measure of idolatry, giving up on being genuine, the product of the age we're in, when new reviews of faces can blow up like nitroglycerin. I don't really want to be the next big famous rapper. I would be much happier if I just knew that I matter. Such reverberation through my being, removing the reservations to which it would cling, creating a distortion in the fabric of reality. A role a tragic actor could never hope to be. The mouth freezes up, my voice fades away. It's too late for my ego to swoop in and save the day. And though I could act depraved or ill-behaved, my mission is wishing that I can portray. It resonates into my bones, it gives birth to feelings I can't face alone, until I accept my place within the human race of freaks and outcasts and imperfect apes. The depth of the pattern will perhaps elude me. I can't ascertain how it goes down so smoothly. Then one day I wake up and realize I've heard the truth, the power, the reality.
I am only a tiny being, wearing a suit that looks like me, from the center of my cranium, operating. Can I wake up from this dream? I feel like an invader, always causing a nuisance, like a big earth sweeper. Step among the little humans, where's my savior? Do I know the truth? What is your mind to solve it? Will just for you? Will I? I'm not here because I belong. I'm not here to dance and sing a song. I'm not here for long.
No, I'm not here to keep taking this shit. I'm not here to give up and quit. I'm not here to end the fighting or let go of my writing. I'm not here to stop believing in it. I am wearing my skin, the cold chassis I shed when I focus within. The forcible motivator I can't choose to rescind. The brand that demands I enshrine my own sins. I can't take it off, I tried to be tough, but it's relentlessly strong. I slough out of my mind and agree to my fate. Kindness is blind to the self-serving way. Though my flesh is growing stronger, I look in the mirror and I couldn't feel wronger. The bumps and curves, the undeserving face. I claim to love it fervor, to keep things from ever returning to that day. I turned on some music, went down to the basement, placed heavy weights on top of my throat, and hoped that I would never wake. It's interesting how spiritually we're limited by empathy. We're contemplating suffering untold, control is thrown to processes unknown, a legacy of pain infused, unrestrained. When everything is stunted, it's hard to be understood when you speak from a position of need. Even if you weep, they just look away, they just silently pray that you'll shut up, that you'll man up, that you'll just give up, locked in some gray asylum, and leave them alone. Easy to be lonely in a world of blank faces. If only we had someone grateful for the unique metaphor. Our lives manifest who refuses to soar and look down on our best. The force of the sorcery cracks. The orb sitting intimately on your back. Feelings unyielding begin their attack when hordes of unorthodox forms start to trap, twisting and fading, unconsciously wading into the subliminal, redone invisible angles we read, based on the natural forms of degrees, splitting up hairs in our search for the truth, trying to parse out the forms of our youth. Little to nothing beside represented. The feeling of being alive has just ended. The soup du jour is that we are all replaced. The rich and the poor all just fully replaced. The strange wooden faces we have to accept as they open their teeth and gleefully crush us to death. Who said you had to be human? Did you? Did I? Was it written into stone that the day that you die you would leave the bereaved as a mortal might? Is this life the only thing that your spirit can buy? And why not? We all wear our own mask to project our true self. And if you ask to reach further than wealth, further than fame, you might even begin to shed your own name, to shed your own name, to shed your own name. Stand for something greater that mortals can claim. An silent innovator, rising up above the same competitive neighbors and heartless bosses. Transcend your losses, uncover the crossroads, which your heart lies with the values you wanted. Shape the world in your image. Imagine it, want it. Don't act exhausted until they've applauded. I'm asking you, please, no, I'm begging you, would you reassure me that you're a human being? Show me the dull, hot emotion you bring, the full, uncontrolled motions we can all see. Your face is like stone staring at me alone. As you hold down my arms, I struggle, I'm prone. I know that you're phoning, please give me the phone. I get my one call, damn it, give me the phone. The mask has been born with anonymity. The fact is that you can't handle the gravity. I wanted to trust you, but you made a mockery. I needed to trust you, how could you betray me? I'm dying of social predation, my morals are on vacation. I'll fight for abdication, I can feel as your power penetrates my being, as you coldly look on, as I'm screaming and begging. We all agree violence must be justified. Of course it is, it wouldn't happen otherwise. We all succumb to the absolute numbness. We all agree with a destructive custom. But what did we do to deserve all of this? Serve the country leaders we were rooted with. Nerves of steel and imperfect fake behavior. Meet the perfect enemy, the fake savior. Speed is of the essence. Fight until it's gone. Our palms are luminescence. We are destined to die for your lives, to die for human rights, to die killing children who had no chances, no fighting back. The light's gone out in your head. You've actually accepted that you'll be dead in the arms of those who glorified you, in the arms of those who crucified you.
Don't let them see your pain. Dig into your veins. Tonight, we're all insane. Repeat this strange refrain. Fighting them in vain. Beat them with a cane before they're in your brain. Suppress it. Suppress it. Suppress it. Suppress it. Don't let them see your pain. No, dig into your veins. No, tonight we're all insane. You know, repeat this strange refrain. Please no, fighting them in vain. No, 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 beat them with a cane. No, 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 before they're in your brain. No, no, become harder, be a martyr. Suppress it, 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 suppress it.
Violence remains repressed. Quietness from social duress. But what's contained could be tenderness. Don't flee from the scary, the unordinary. When shit gets hairy, stay stationary. You'll find inside the truth that's necessary. Escape from the hellish shell that you're in. The selfish sin that keeps your mind unawake. Don't run away until you're out. Don't look away until you're out. Push through every day till you've broken out. The secrets released from your soul. The human connection we need to control. Fill yourself with the universe till your words turn into verse. When the nerve of the yoke of society breaks, we deserve so much more than the eye can see we make. Don't try to be anyone. You're already someone, see? It's a tautology. Get it? I'm just a word. I'm just a crowd. I'm a million voices, learning to shout out loud, out loud, out loud, out loud. I wish I could think out loud, out loud. I wish my words were a bit cleaner, better. I wish I knew myself better. The word. Slow steps, voices unheard, unlearned, showing kindness my own way. I'm breaking free from the dream. Easily done. Somehow I've started entering a run of slowly increasing fun, connecting with everyone. But this is only the starting gun. The world is a cacophony. Unrestrained clamor is monotony. Yet I kept swinging my hammer, kept raising my banner. Feed responsibility. The path is clear. The truth is free. Rising from the chaos is the voice that love gave us. I thought it all through, then decided to move. Then I fought my way through and I turned on the groove. Endless fighting, ceaseless writing, methods strange but now inviting. As the path of masters travel step by step, I cast aside my death and I held my every breath. The life I'm gonna lead will explore the unknown, but you better believe I won't be going alone.